Yo, what's happening everybody? Today we're going to be looking at 10 easy breakdance moves that you can learn from home or anywhere for that matter. You may have seen in some of my other videos, breakdancing is made up of lots of different elements. Our top rock section, our get down section, our footwork section, power moves, and then we have some freezes as well. And I'm going to include some different moves for each element that you can learn today. The only one I'm not going to focus on too much today is top rock, just because I wanted to give you some impressive moves that you can start learning today. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The first move we're going to look at is called the helicopter. Now this is a move that you might be familiar with already, and it's a very nice, simple, easy move that you can learn for one of your first moves. To start with, you want to be in a crouched position. You want to pick which leg you want to swing around in the helicopter motion. For me, it's my right leg, so I bring my right leg out to the front, and then I just tuck it in front of the other leg. After I've tucked it in, I lift up my left foot, I swing my right leg round, back to the front, I switch my hands, and then I come round to restart the position again. Start by learning the first helicopter, sort of step by step, then do the same thing again after you've done your first one. So you want to do one helicopter, and then start a very slow process of trying the second one again, break it down into steps. Once you get good at it, you can just start swinging round, lift that leg up, and just kind of hop over that leg that keeps swinging round. The second move that we can take a look at is very similar to the helicopter. It's the reverse helicopter. Now this might be a little bit more difficult than the first one that you just did, but it's a similar sort of move. So I like to start this with one knee on the floor, which would be my right knee, and then because I swung my right leg round for my helicopter, I'm going to swing my left leg round for my reverse helicopter. So I start with my right knee on the floor. My left foot is then going to swing round so that I bring both knees on the floor. And then from here, very similar to what you did with your first helicopter, I lift my right leg up and my left leg is going to swing through that gap and back round to the front. From there, I then reposition back into my first position where my right knee is on the floor and my left knee is up in the air. Once you get your first one, you then want to do the same process again. You come round back to the front and then just start the process all over again. Our next move that we're going to look at is a little bit harder. It's called the baby freeze. This is one of the first freezes that most people will learn when they start breakdancing. It's one that I still use all the time to finish off my power moves, and it's really good to start building up your strength, core stability for the harder moves that you may learn later on in your breakdancing career. So with a baby freeze, you're going to start in a crouch down position once again. Depending on which side you want to freeze on, I freeze on my right side. So I'm going to take my left hand, which is going to come underneath my legs. My elbow is going to come and it's going to touch my knee. And then the other arm that I'm freezing on is going to come under into my side. I'm going to place both hands on the floor with my feet still touching the floor. And then I'm going to try and place my head on the floor while I'm in this position. This might be hard to do with, so just try this really slow. Make sure you look after your heads, your back, all that good stuff that you need. And just simply leave your feet on the floor to start with. To gain up that strength, it's quite a good way to just slowly bring that leg off the floor that's touching and keeping you stable. Try and hold it for a couple of seconds each time, progressively increasing the amount of seconds you take your foot off the floor. Eventually, after lots of practice, you should be able to hold the freeze like this. The next move we are going to look at is another freeze, and it's a side freeze. Now a side freeze, if you've done your baby freeze on one side, so I've done mine on my right side, I'm going to do my side freeze on my left side. I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to place it into my ribs, come onto the floor, take my other hand, and instead of my other hand balancing my legs up, it's going to base in front of my head, in front of my face, okay? This is what's going to keep me stable. Similar sort of process, I'm going to put my head on the floor, and then I'm going to kick one leg out straight, and the other one's going to be bent. The one that's out straight is going to also be keeping you stable. To take that leg off the floor, what you're going to do, in your side freeze position, you're going to then slowly remove that leg for a couple of seconds. You're going to take that leg off the floor, hold it, bring it back down. Take it off, hold it, bring it back down. Okay. Do it for a couple of seconds, increase your seconds again, and eventually you should be able to hold that freeze for a longer period of time. Moving on to another one of my most favorite moves, and that is the Zulu spin. Now a Zulu spin seems like it's quite easy to explain, but there are different ways that you can do a Zulu spin. I'm going to start crouched down with my hands either side of my body. I like to spin right. Is that right? Right. Can't believe I still have to do that at this age. Yeah, right. So I'm spinning my right side. I take my right hand, I put it to the side of me. Okay, I shift my body weight to one side. Then I'm going to use my left hand to turn like this, turn around. I then place it on the floor and just sort of turn a quarter or a half turn to start with. From there, after using my left hand to turn, I then use my right hand to turn again. And I sort of turn another quarter or half turn. So then what I would do is I would practice those first two steps and I'd go turn, turn, using my hands to guide me. Then it's just about completing it in full circle. So I'm spinning on the balls of my feet. I'm going right hand, left hand, left hand, and I'm sort of turning round in a full circle. Once you get good at those, it's great to do multiple Zulu spins in one go, and you just want to go spin, 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 back to the front. If you feel sick at any time though, please take a rest. Staying on the footwork track brings us on to our next move, which is called the CC. Now a CC can be a bit of a coordinating nightmare, but if you do it slow and break it down, you'll be sure to get it. I start crouched down, I have my hands by my side, start on my right side, so I bring my right foot out to the front, put my right hand down by my side, and then I'm going to use my left hand to turn over to the other side. With my left leg that's bent, I'm going to sort of put my knees together, turn to my right side, my left hand goes on the floor, and then my left heel is going to face the ceiling. Once I've done that, I practice that a little bit faster as well actually, once you have that locked down. So I'd go to here and then back. Once you've done that, you then want to swap your legs over. So you can add that into your sequence. CC, back, swap your leg over. Once you've swapped your leg over, you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. So left leg straight, right leg's bent, left hand's on the floor, right hand turns over my left foot, and my right foot that is bent, I'm going to turn that over, and my right heel is going to face the sky. Once you've done that, you want to add that to your sequence. I go CC, middle, swap over, CC, middle. And then with your CCs, it's just about repeating that process. For our next move, we're going to go back to freezes again. And the next move that we're going to look at is the head freeze. Now a head freeze is essentially just a headstand, but doing something cool with your legs. You want to start with your head on the floor and your hands either side of your head. Bring your feet out to the front, shift your hips upwards. So you're in almost a bit of a triangle position. From there, a little bit similar to what we did with our other freezes, you're going to slowly bring your feet off the floor, hold for a few seconds, bring them back down. Try and hold your headstand for longer each time. It'll also help with your core stability, okay, building that up so that you can hold your headstand. A really easy tip that you can use to gain a headstand is just go to a wall, bring your feet up, and you can do it the opposite way. So you go up to your headstand, rest your feet against the wall, then take your feet off for a couple of seconds, hold it, take them back, and so on. Probably a little bit better to try it on a wall because your feet are actually in the air and it allows you to get used to being in the headstand position. You want to progress to trying to, if you can, bring your feet straight up. Again, just a really good way to help with your balance, especially if you want to progress to doing things like head spins. You then want to sort of turn your hips outwards to the side to hit this cool cross freeze position. Our next move is going to be one of everyone's favorites, and that is the kip up. Now I would recommend when trying to kip up for the first time, make sure you've got something like a mat just to stop yourself from getting winded or any injuries at all. First of all, you want to start in a seated position and you just want to practice rolling back onto your shoulder. From here, you want to bring your arms behind your head and just practice sort of kicking your legs upwards and downwards. And when you feel a little bit more comfortable, you want to try and kick outwards and see if you can go back into that seated position. With each try, just keep trying to kick a little bit harder. Try not to kick upwards, you want to kick outwards. So you want to try and push with your hands a little bit, kick outwards, and just progressively try and get more and more up to your feet. This next move is called the backspin. Now with a backspin, you want to start in a seated position, turn your legs into sort of a zigzag position, and you're just going to start by kicking across your lead leg. Mine's my right leg, kick across my lead leg, and I drop down to my elbow. From there, I progress a little bit further. I kick across, drop to my elbow, and then I push onto my side. As you can see, I'm already starting to turn a little bit when I do it. From there, you just have to use the other leg that you haven't kicked, and you have to kick that as well. Start by going from the position that you've just pushed into and then just kick that bottom leg up into this position here. Once you kick it a few times, you want to kick it and go into a tuck position. Once you feel like you've got these steps locked down a little bit more, you then want to do it from the start. So you want to kick with that lead leg, push onto your side, kick with that other leg, tuck in, and you should be able to spin. Our final move is probably the most difficult one that you could learn out of the whole 10 moves that I've given you today, and it's called a weasel neck. Some people might call it something a little bit different. I don't really care. When I was brought up in breakdancing, it was called a weasel neck. If you have any other names for it though, please leave them in the comments because I'd be quite interested to know what you think it's called. Please be very careful when doing this move. Make sure you watch your neck, make sure you watch your head, make sure you watch your back. You're going to start in this sort of position here. I know it looks a bit weird, but this is where we're starting. You're going to want to bring your feet onto the floor and then turn your head outwards and come onto one of your shoulders. The foot that you've brought onto the floor, you want to take it off because now you're going to roll sort of onto your back and you're going to tap one foot onto the floor. Leave the other foot in the air. So from here, you're going to roll your shoulder inwards. You're going to try and roll back onto your neck. Use your feet to guide you. So bring your feet over your head, touching the floor, and then sort of push yourself back out again like you did with your first movement and back into that position where you tap your foot on the floor. Eventually, you want to try try and roll, tap your foot, roll out, tap your foot, roll in, tap your foot, roll out, tap your foot. So there we have it, guys. That is 10 easy breakdance moves that you can start learning today. You can get up and running with those moves to start your breakdancing journey. For other beginner breakdancing, acrobatic, flips, and stunt moves, please go and check out some of my other videos. If there is anything else or any other moves that you would like me to cover here on the channel, please leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to make a video for you. With that being said, guys, please like and subscribe. Click the bell notification for any new videos that I am posting. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.